Just the humidity, definitely. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of From The Helm with MarineMax. I'm Kelly.
I'm Amanda.
And
Great to see y'all.
we have a great show for you again today. Lots of things to talk about this week and this month, so let's just kick it off. So starting off, we have a lot of great industry news. We're going to follow that up with some featured boats from brands like Galleon, Scout, Azimut, Aquila, and more. Fall boating is here, so definitely it's going to be pretty awesome to be showing you all the great spots around the nation to be boating. And service and winterization. Lots of great things to be talked about for service and winterization, and we have a special guest with us.
We do. We have a very special guest today. It'll be pretty exciting, so make sure to stay tuned.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get this started.
Yeah, well, I guess first we should tell them about the potential prizes they can get today.
Yes.
So what are the first 5 get?
So the first 5 win an Under Armour tank top. The first 5 comments today can win an Under Armour tank top, and the rest of the people that comment on our live stream here today wins Burgees. So Burgees for everybody. Burgees for everybody.
Burgees.
So, ooh, we got one right
Don't
here.
Don't forget to comment, ask your questions, tell us what you're thinking, tell us where you're coming from.
Yeah.
What your favorite boating is, what you want to know. Is
it getting a little cooler up in the Midwest? And you know, if so, what are you doing to prepare for the winter season, the fall season? So, yeah.
Okay.
Let's get to it.
Yeah, let's jump in. So we have some really good news items today. Just recently, in the last week, it was announced that MarineMax has been granted the first technology license for hydrogen boat propulsion. A lot of words there, but what that is called Hydrogen 2.0. It's the world's first hydrogen propulsion process based on the clean and affordable extraction of hydrogen directly from saltwater. Again, that's a lot of technical terms, but kind of boiling it down means that your boat is potentially sitting in its own fuel.
So you never have to go to the fuel stations, the fuel docks ever again, is what you're saying?
Yeah, yes. So MarineMax has partnered with Joy Scientific for this. They'll be working with them to undertake a joint development to bring hydrogen-based energy to leading vendors in the marine industry.
That's incredible.
It's amazing what you may see in the next few years coming out of that. So
yeah, I mean, it's crazy to see the technology that's going into boats and into boating these days, and just 5-10 years down the road, where are we going to be then?
Yeah, and just the idea that you can be and just continue to enjoy the ocean and the water and know that you're not contaminating it at all and hurting it, that it's going to be there for years to come and generations to come.
Definitely. And if you guys have any cool tech things that you've seen in boating lately, definitely leave it in the comments below, and we'll talk about it for sure.
Yes, and because that was definitely, it's a very technological topic. Yep. Check out the article in the comments below. There's a link to it. There's a lot more information, a lot more detail. We just barely glossed over it, so check it out for sure. But we have other really exciting news that just came out this Monday. Yeah. We have a new CEO at MarineMax. Brett McGill has been promoted to our CEO. Awesome. Bill McGill, our former CEO, is serving as our executive chairman of the board of directors now. So we're very excited, very proud to have Brett lead us.
Very much so.
Actually be joining us on the show in December to talk about what's been going on for the past year and what's to come for MarineMax.
Yeah, we're really excited to have Brett McGill on, and talking to tech. He's definitely into the technology and boating too. So we'll probably talk a little bit more about that topic of Joy Scientific maybe.
Yes, for sure, and I have to say congratulations to both Brett and Bill in their new roles.
Congrats, definitely.
Okay, so as Kelly said, in fall. Fall means new models. It's the 2019 model year. They're starting to come out. Yep. So tell us what we can start seeing in the next few months. Yeah,
so we're late, heading into fall here, and of course some of the big boating boat shows are coming up, and you'll be seeing a lot of new models from all of our manufacturers. We'll start off with Aquila. So everybody knows Aquila at this point. I think you've probably seen them on the water all over the Clearwater area, all over possibly around the nation. So
they're power catamarans. If you need a little spark.
If you didn't know, Aquila power catamarans, and they are debuting the new Aquila 30 later on this year.
Yes, yeah. So it's the little sister to the award-winning 36. Yep. A fun, great boat, and just definitely check it out. We have some videos about it with Lex Ross, Harry Mountain, talking about this new boat coming out. So check the link in the comment section below, and there's 3 different videos to learn more about that model.
Yeah, and the Aquila, if you don't know, the Aquila 36 was outboard powered, and this one will be outboard powered as well. A really cool swim platform. That's probably my favorite feature I've seen so far. And a lot of really cool new things that you'll be able to check out at future boat shows. So stay tuned to MarineMax. If you want to ask any questions about that new Aquila 30 power catamaran, we'll be sure to get back to you on that.
For sure, definitely.
Okay, so now off to Scout. So the Scout 530, and yes, a 53 center console. Scout 530 LXF is going to be debuting later on this year as well. It's actually made its debut, but you'll be able to see it in person in the near future. So definitely check that out, and check out MarineMax's website. We also have some videos on our YouTube channel talking about the Scout 530. We had an opportunity to sit down with James Pate to kind of discuss this new model, and I can't wait to see this thing. And they've literally created a whole new factory expansion, 120,000 square feet, just for this model and some future models as well. So pretty exciting to see that.
It is really exciting. It's the largest boat yet from Scout, so we're looking forward to our opportunity to step on board ourselves and share it with you.
I mean, a 50+ foot center console. Just seeing that in person, it's just it's going to be amazing. So definitely check that out. Moving to Azimuth, so we have the Azimuth S line, and there's a lot of new models coming out in this new S line. You've seen the S7, but this is the S6. So this is it actually premiered in Cannes. I think I'm saying that right.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Cannes?
Yeah, Cannes.
Cannes. And it's a really cool boat. Speaking of technology, I mean, these azimuths are just powered by technology. A lot of really cool things, including carbon fiber. A lot of carbon fiber, which both obviously is very light, but it's also very strong. So combine the weight loss and the strength, and of course it looks really cool.
Well, another great feature of it, because it's so lightweight and strong, is the boats are more spacious. So they're still very sporty and sleek on the outside, but spacious inside, and you would never guess how much space you're going to get looking at them. Yeah, and I think that they use a lot of the carbon fiber up top, where it makes it a lot less top heavy, so you don't, kind of going like that. Everything's kind of more down low and light up top. So and it's more fuel efficient. So many benefits. yeah,
and if you want to see the S6, that's going to be at the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show. So check it out at the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show this year. Speaking of Azimuth, we're going a little bit bigger here. So this is the Azimuth Grande 25 Metri meter. Again, it's Cannes Metri meter. But that boat will also be at the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show. And I don't know if you've seen any of these Grande lineup, but
they're gorgeous. I mean, you walk in, they're stunning. They amenities. It's like, it's better than my house. I would trade my house and go live in one.
Yeah, you could literally live on this boat, no problems. It's going to be crazy. And the exterior is designed by Stefano Regini. I'm totally butchering that, I'm sure, but Stefano Regini exterior, along with Achille Silvani, who does the interior.
That's fantastic.
I think I got a little closer on that one.
You're good there.
Yeah, and I did the math. I think that's around an 80 foot, a little bit bigger than 80 feet. So really cool boat. And of course, check that out at the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show, which starts pretty soon.
October 31st is a preview day, and it goes through Sunday, November 4th. So
yeah, it's coming up. I mean, that's a month away.
Right around the corner.
And last but not least, we'll talk a little Ocean Alexander. And of course, you see a trend here. There's Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show coming up. And I've talked about this one before, but the 90R from Ocean Alexander will be at the show. This is a new lineup for Ocean Alexander, designed by Evan Marshall.
Yes.
You met Evan Marshall?
Collaboration, yeah, I have. We actually have some great video with him from one of the previous Fort Lauderdale shows, so I hope he'll be there this year and we'll get a chance to talk to him about what he did with this boat. Yeah, definitely. And this is, it's a revolutionary look for Ocean Alexander, definitely. I mean, it definitely has its own look, and that's what they're calling it, the 90R, which stands for Revolution. So really cool. And of course, you can see all these boats and more at marinemax.com. Social media channels, YouTube, Facebook. We have a lot of new content on these boats, and of course the boat shows. Yes, and I also have to say that we can't forget about Galleon, because that's one of our new amazing brands, and they have two new debuting models at Fort Lauderdale coming up. So the 470 Sky and the 650 Sky. So make sure to watch for details on those coming out, and to watch those live at the show when we tour those new boats. In the Skies, I mean, literally, they're a unique, looks like an Express, opens up to a flybridge. It's a really cool boat. If you haven't seen a Sky or hopped aboard, you have an opportunity to do so for sure at the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show. And a lot of other boat shows. There's a lot of boat shows going on around the country right now, so it's really exciting. That time of year. And so if you have questions about any of these models, make sure to put them in the comments below. We'll get to as many as we can, and if we don't get to it in the show, we'll come back around and answer your questions, and make sure as well to get you connected with someone who can give you lots of details if that's what you're looking for. Yeah, definitely. I mean, this stuff lives on the internet, so I mean, even if you have a question a month from now, we'll be sure to check that out and get back to you in case you have any questions. So all right, well, let's get into fall boating. Yeah, so it's fall. Sometimes people may think, hey, it's time to start wrapping up our outdoor activities, but it can still be a great time of year for boating.
Sure.
Fall color cruises, going and looking at all the beautiful leaves. Here in Florida, we celebrate because it means a little bit cooler weather, so a little different
nice.
activities for boating. We're not so anxious to get in the water and cool off. You can actually spend time cruising to different areas. So we've picked our 5 favorite spots for fall boating, and you can find those in the article that is linked below in the comments. So check those out. Tell us what you think. Tell us what your favorites are too. I mean, those were the 5 that we chose, but we know that there's so many amazing spots across the country. We'd love to see your pictures from it too. All those colorful leaves. It's gorgeous. Summer's wonderful and beautiful, but fall is also just its own unique beauty as well.
Yeah, I have an opportunity, which we'll speak of in a little bit, to go up to Minneapolis in a few days, and of course, fall. One of the best places is the Midwest for fall boating for sure.
See, Kelly already put his boat in.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah. So also, as the weather cools down too, one thing you can be thinking about is boating classes and seminars with our stores. So it's a great time to still stay involved in boating, work on your knowledge and your skills. So find one of the classes near you and join, whether it's Women in Water, a introduction to boating.
Kids in boating?
Yeah, kids in boating, ones that go over the technology in the boats, all sorts of different things, navigation, a lot of great classes. So.
Definitely.
And as Kelly mentioned earlier, it is boat show season. It'll be going strong through the fall and the winter and spring, and there's really boat shows year round, but this is the time of year where there's a lot of them going on. So make sure to go to marinemax.com, check out our event schedule, and find a boat show near you so you can see the latest new models.
And if you go to Fort Lauderdale this year, you might catch a glimpse of us. We're always at the show, and we would love to talk to you about boating for sure.
For sure, and we'll have a lot of great live Facebooks coming to you as well.
Oh yeah,
models.
For sure.
Okay, so what's next? We got an exciting guest here, Kelly.
Okay, so everybody, I want to welcome Travis Fraley, who is the MarineMax National Service and Parts Manager.
Yeah, thank you.
How are you doing today, Travis?
Doing well, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, so let's kind of start off service, and we want to just briefly kind of talk about, it's pretty cool. Something we wanted to mention is our Houston service team actually worked with NASA on a recent project, and it's kind of cool. I mean, yeah, they're close, they're in the NASA area, but it's just cool. I mean, some of our brands and some of our teams are working with people like NASA. It's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, that just shows right there the level of expertise our team is at. I mean, just to get a call from NASA to help shrink wrap a module. I mean, that's so it, our team is just phenomenal, and to get that call is great. It's pretty cool.
Sure. And we want to kind of start off with so OEM parts. A lot of people know what OEM stands for, some don't. Kind of fill us in, what is OEM and why is it kind of, why is it important?
Yeah, so with MarineMax, OEM, original equipment manufacturer, so that's going to be when we do a service or we place a part on a boat, we're going to use the OEM parts. We're not going to use generic parts, subpar parts, just to save a couple bucks. So when you're talking these beautiful boats that are all around us here, you don't want to replace them with subpar parts.
So you're getting them direct from Mercury?
Yeah, we're getting them direct from Mercury, Boston Whaler, Sea Ray, Yamaha, whomever it might be. They're coming straight from them, and they're literally a direct swap from what you would find on any of this product around us.
Sure, and I'm sure a lot of people have dealt with that in the past with other products where you're like, I can save a few bucks on this part instead of that one or whatever, and you end up regretting it later on.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially when we're talking about this time of year, and in the north, you start looking where their boating season's 3 or 4 months sometimes. It's very short. The last thing you want is to save $15 on a part, and it literally takes you out for a couple weeks from boating. So we stick with OEM 99% of the time, and the only time we would stray is if the customer really wanted it, but it's rare. It's rare.
Okay, so we do use OEM parts, but then we also talk a lot about how our technicians are certified. What does certified mean?
Yeah, so that's a good question. It's a good question. So certified, if we looked at the engine manufacturers with Mercury, Yamaha, the bigger manufacturers, it's actually a formal set training, education, and then a test at the end of it. So it's not something that just comes kind of willy-nilly where anybody can write in and get it. It's something that they actually have to study for and get that certification. So the initial certification from the engine manufacturers usually takes a couple years for them to get. And then there's, in addition, on top of that, there's master mechanic, which MarineMax has quite a few, which is very, very difficult for them to maintain. You have to be minimum of 4 years certified and take a very difficult test, which you have to score a 90 or above, if I recall exactly. So definitely something that we're proud of, that our technicians maintain that certification, and it continues. You know, if we look around us, the models that are around us are, you know, the engines, they're foreign to what they were 5, 10, even 2 or 3 years ago.
Speaking of technology,
so
right?
so they're just staying on top of that and stay on that education. To keep that certification.
And it's something that they continually, you know, yearly they receive new additions to the certifications, so they continue to stay up to date with the latest and greatest and all these changing systems. Yeah,
it's literally, I mean, we were just talking about boats running on water, you know, so every day something's changing with that. And that's just the engines that I speak of. There's also ABYC and NEMA, which you know, you talk about the boat as a whole and the systems and the electrical components, you know, generators. So there's a lot. These guys and gals that we have as technicians, when they're certified, it really means something, and that's who you want working on your boat.
Yep.
And I was just thinking too, like when you mentioned like the differences in engines and the outboards, is, you know, if you take an engine from 20 years ago and take out the cowl versus what it looks like now it looks more like a computer than it does.
It is. That's a great point. So if we walk back to our service departments, not each technician, but each service department has 1 to maybe 5 or 6 laptops to plug into the engines. You can't, just like some of the modern cars, you can't pull any codes or get any information from it unless you actually hook a computer up.
That's crazy.
Pretty amazing.
That's pretty cool, I have to say. And so with service comes winterization as well. I mean, a lot of people, you know, down here, they might not think about it too often. It's always nice and toasty and 70 degrees even in February, but you know, what is winterization? Why is it important to a customer?
Yeah, so here it's mid 80s right now, I think. It's tough to think about winterization. It really is. I think I started here at this store 20 years ago. The first time I even realized what winterization was when I turned the spigot on a freshwater system and antifreeze came out. What is this, you know? So really what it is, in kind of a nutshell, for the locations where they get hard freezes, right? So what you want to do is you want to winterize the boat, which is the freshwater systems, the engine, raw water systems, live wells, and you're purging out the fresh water so that it doesn't freeze and expand. So when it expands, it'll crack the engine block. It could potentially crack components within the boat and the water system. And then when spring comes around, it's an absolute mess to try and deal with.
Basically, liquid is your enemy when it comes to boating.
It is. So what they'll do is right, except antifreeze. So water is, unfortunately, and what they'll do is they'll replace that water with antifreeze. There's a lot more to it, but that's kind of winterization in a nutshell with the boat.
Okay, cool.
And so if you're here in Florida or the southern shores where we're not so much winterizing, right? What are we thinking about in the fall for service?
Yeah. So the fun stuff, right? So the weather's about to turn, and we're going to start seeing mid to low 80s, and it's gorgeous here in Florida and the southern states. Maintain your boat, maintain your annual services, but in addition, the fun stuff, you know, look for a speaker upgrade, stereo system upgrade, underwater lights. You know, winter's a good time. January, February, when we are starting to see those cold fronts and the northeasters come through and low pressure. You're not out there boating every day anymore, although we are year round. So it's a good time to get your boat in for service, get an annual and check annual service on it, but then get into some of the fun stuff too, you know.
No, I meant when it hits those like 40, 50 degree days, I'm not so much going out.
No, exactly.
Like, yeah, that's a good time to work on it.
I think there's a lot of people that do, though. I mean,
there are some, especially those hardcore fishing enthusiasts. I mean, they'll get out there, but tell you what, you know, 60 degrees is good, some 50. Once it gets below that, it's like,
Yeah, the core of winter isn't, even though we're still warm, considering the rest of the country, it'll be negative temperatures. It's still not ideal all the time.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, we're very lucky that we have 10 months out of the year that are beautiful for boating.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. And also kind of the network of locations that MarineMax has. I mean, I hear a lot of that with some of the team and a lot of boaters is, you know, it's nice to have that network for MarineMax to assist. with parts and with service. Can you kind of tell us a little bit about the network that we have here?
Sure. So we have over 60 locations, as you're aware of, mainly the eastern seaboard and the Midwest. I mean, really, if you looked at a map, I don't think that you could go do a day's worth of boating from Boston south down around the Keys and up into the Gulf and not hit a MarineMax location.
That's true.
So, and with that, if you're a MarineMax customer and have one of these gorgeous boats, we're here to help you along the way. So if you're in Boston or you're in New York and the north, and this happens a lot where a customer will come down to go to the Bahamas or the Caribbean, the Keys, even Florida, we're here to help you along the way. So that network means a lot. And back to those techs that we were referring to, they're receiving, when they get that certification, they're receiving the same training. So when this Boston Whaler, this Sea Ray or Azimuth or one of the products show up, they know what it is and they know how to work on it, the same as they would at your home location.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, all the stores, they're all trained in a lot of the same different products, the same different manufacturers. So, you know, having that network throughout the coast is pretty beneficial.
It's huge for our customers, absolutely.
Well, you also know they're going to have the same information on your boat, right? They can see what you've done before and what other people have worked with you on.
Right, we all share the same DMS, the dealer management system, so we can go into a repair order that was done in Miami, Florida, or New York, and all of our locations see the same information, so it's pretty cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Great. So as we talked about winterization and fall service, when should people start making their appointments for this stuff?
So if you're up in Minnesota or you're in the pretty far north, you hopefully have already done so. If not, do it now. Get on that. And you know, some of the Midwest, they probably have already made their appointments, so it's not too late. Contact your local MarineMax and talk to a service advisor. They'll coach you on it if anything's foreign.
So you can go to marinemax.com and find your local store. You can also go on marinemax.com to our service area, and there's a form there you can fill out to request your service to, and that'll get routed to your local store, so they'll reach out to you and schedule your appointment as well. So lots of opportunity there.
Makes it as easy as possible to get servicing done with your boat.
Yes, yeah, there's no excuse, just like in life, there's no excuse, I guess, not for going for your regular checkups with your doctor. Your boats need your regular checkups as well.
It's true, definitely. Okay, well, you want to stick around for a little while?
Absolutely. If y'all have me, I'd love to.
Excellent. And we're getting to a fun segment here. This is kind of the shout out section. So this is anybody who's had any questions or comments out there in the interwebs universe. Definitely let's hear them.
Yeah, and don't forget, if you want to get your burgee or your shirt, put your question in real quick or put your comment.
I told Travis to come out in this before. I thought that'd be pretty awesome, but he declined.
No one else did.
Yeah,
so
he declined.
This is a ladies' tank top. It's quite. I have a few myself. They're quite wonderful. But if you're a guy, you can always give it to a special lady in your life.
Yeah.
And we can also find you a man shirt as well.
And you can always go with a burgee. I mean, burgees. Who doesn't want a burgee at this point?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, Sarah, who do we have?
Yeah. So we actually have a lot of people tuning in right now, so stick with me here.
Okay.
We have Mark H, Zach T, Abby H, Jeff C, Melanie M, Franklin P, Spencer W, Robert A, and Robert L, all tuning in right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you guys
Nice
so
to see
much for
everyone.
tuning in. And we did have a couple of questions actually. So for Travis, what is some new technology that we can look forward to maybe in 2019 or 2020?
I have to say, I think what Amanda mentioned with the Joy, that's going to top anything that I could bring to the table. That's
great.
That stuff. I don't know that that's 2019 or 2020. I don't know that there's a date on that, but that's probably one of the most exciting pieces of news in our industry right now.
Super exciting, very exciting. I think with some of the new models too, like with Galleon, we see they continue to add the beach mode to their boats with the new ones coming out. So that's where the side folds down. It's like a transformer boat.
Sure.
The engines, like we talked about earlier, they keep improving and getting more efficient. I know just recently, was it last year, Mercury came out with some new outboards.
Right. There's actually one right behind us over
say.
here. They're phenomenal. They're absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and I think just the systems on the boats continue to improve and grow and
the electronics.
More intuition.
Yeah,
Intuitive.
Of course the electronics are always getting better and better, just making it more user friendly. You have things like Skyhook now, which is something just a 10 years ago or something, it'd be like, what, this actually can exist? And then materials too. I mean, the materials that go into boats. Carbon fiber is getting a little less expensive, so it makes it easier to get it into the boats, and it's really cool, the technologies you're seeing.
Yeah.
What else do we have, Sarah?
Yeah, so we have another question. Fort Lauderdale Boat Show, it's coming up. So where can MarineMax be found?
Well, you can find MarineMax pretty much across the entire show. We'll be at the Galleon booth, the Azimuth booth, MarineMax Vacations. We'll have Aquila. Yeah, check out.
Boston Whaler, Scout, right? Pretty much any of the models we carry, you'll find somebody in one of our booths, right?
Yeah, definitely. And if you ever see somebody walking around with a MarineMax shirt on and you have a question, stop them and ask them. I mean, they'll be sure to help you out for sure.
And then Kelly and I will be coming to you live from the show as well, like you've seen on the past, but we'll be sharing the new models, talking to the manufacturers, doing interviews with different people from MarineMax, so a lot of good stuff you can find online as well. And
if you guys have any questions, or if you want to see specific models or things on the boats that you'd like to see in depth, we'll be sure to write that down and bring it with us when we go to the boat show, and we'll focus on some of the stuff that you're looking for.
Definitely, for sure. So you can also get the link in our comment section below to go to the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show page on our website, where we talk about the manufacturers. We'll be adding more information as we get closer to the show with the debuting models, where the booths are located. There's a map so you can find everything, all sorts of good stuff.
That boat show is just incredible. I don't know if you've ever had an opportunity to go to the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show, but it is just boats as far as the eye can see. It's very tempting. It's just like seeing what you see in front of you.
Well, and the yachts there are amazing. They're like nothing you see anywhere else. It is the yachting capital of the world, I guess, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. We also didn't mention the fan of the month. So Chris Canoop from Woodbury, Minnesota. Congratulations, you are the fan of the month, and I'll actually be seeing you in a few days. We're going to be doing some really cool video content for Band of Boaters.
Yeah, so if you haven't heard or seen, we recently did a contest for Band of Boaters, and we've announced our new members, and they are going to be sharing with us their passion for boating. You don't just want to hear from MarineMax about boating. We want other boaters to share with you why they love boating and how it's changed their lives. So we have a group that will be doing that, and Kelly will be with Chris filming to share that exactly with you. And
it's very fitting, of course, that we're talking about fall boating, and get up to Minneapolis and do some really cool content with one of our boating friends up there in the Twin Cities. So of course you can find us in terms of social media. You can find us all over the place on the internet. YouTube, our YouTube MarineMax Online channel. Facebook, we have Facebook pages for leisure boating, for yachts, MarineMax Yachts.
Yep, we also have our fishing channel as well on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I mean, you name it, you're going to find us online. And of course, MarineMax.com and MarineMaxYachts.com. And if you want to know about our charters and the BVIs, there's always MarineMaxVacations.com as well. So that's
definitely
a unique option there too. So
cool.
There'll be lots of stuff coming out. Our show next month will be taking place at Fort Lauderdale in the morning. So we'll be a little bit earlier, but before the show really gets going, we want to give you a preview of what will be taking place.
And of course, Brett McGill in December.
Yes.
So that should be cool.
We got some good months coming up, guys.
What do you think?
It's great.
You have fun?
I had fun. Thank you very much for having me.
Cool.
Thank you for coming and joining us. We appreciate it.
And if anybody else has any questions for Travis, definitely leave them in the comments, and we'll reach out to Travis and find him, and be sure to get back to you for that. So
have a great day, and thanks everyone.
Thank you. We'll see you on the water. All right. So what'd you think?
Cool.
Good time? Yeah. Is this? You sure you still don't want to?
I might try it out.
Yeah, I think so. Do you have any birchies on? Have you ever?
I do, and I would like one.